a bit of a different video today. We're inside the car and we're driving because yesterday something unexpected happened and now we need to fix it. So this is a lesson from our private life, but it can also apply to business. So what happened was we were out driving and one of our tires exploded when driving. It's actually behind me. This is what it looks like. So we're out driving on these gravel roads and the tire just completely exploded. We were on a trip. We were actually going somewhere and the whole trip had to be canceled. And I actually had to reschedule my afternoon today because we were on the way to a mechanic to fix this. And at first it's really upsetting. Like both me and Helena, we had a really hard time with the tire exploding in the middle of nowhere on a dirt road and having to wait there for like 2 hours to get it fixed enough so that we could drive back home. And I think there's a lesson in here because what we have been talking for like 2 months now that we need to actually switch the tires on this car into new tires because these are 5 years old. And this is like the perfect opportunity. It's like an opportunity that is hidden within this tragedy. So now we are actually driving to a mechanic. We found a good place and got actually a really good deal for all new tires. And now we're actually going to get it done. So what ended up being like really bad yesterday is today really good. Now we get new tires on the car, everything's fine, we can cross that off our to-do list, and we were flexible enough to make it work. So that's like the lesson from our own life today, that everything, even if it seems to be really bad and really like hard when it happens, if you zoom out and look at a bigger picture, it's actually better than if we would have kept driving with this tire and it would have exploded in the middle of a city or somewhere where there's a lot of traffic. That would have been really bad. So the outcome is still very good. And there's something we can do an analogy here. There's actually a business lesson that has the same lesson within it that me and Helena experienced a couple of years ago. It's actually a really funny story. So we were working with a lot of different suppliers when we started out our company, and we had a really hard time to find a good manufacturer. So a lot of manufacturers, they are pretty poor in communication and they don't have the best assortment of products. They have a hard time to follow instructions, and it's just a lot of work to make manufacturing work fluently and nicely. So Helene was actually, Helene was actually talking to a lot of different manufacturers at this time to try to find a good one. And after what she thought was finding a good one, she placed a really big order. It was a big risk to place a big order with a new manufacturer they haven't tested before. And after this order comes through, we get the payment is done. It's actually come through and they are starting to prepare the product. Helene made a realization that she placed the order with the wrong manufacturer. She actually placed the order with the manufacturer she had never talked to before. But all the names of these manufacturers are very similar. So out of the blue, she just gets an order confirmation from a manufacturer that she never talked to before. And it was a catastrophe because it was a big investment at this time. But what ended up happening was this new unexpected manufacturer actually over-delivered 100 times over. So they actually was the best manufacturer that we've ever worked with. They were so good in communication. They had such incredible quality of the product. They're really good at following instructions, and everything just worked out so much more better than we could have ever expected when this situation first occurred. So what was actually like panic and chaos in our brains, especially Helene's brain at the time, kind of turned into this miracle that then transformed our business, because we were able to launch a lot of new products with this manufacturer and upgrade our packaging. There are like so many improvements that they can help us do. So what looked as a disaster when it occurred turned into a blessing in the end. And that's a lesson to draw from this situation back here. It sucked when it happened, but then now we're getting fixed, and tomorrow we'll look back at it as a good thing, because then we don't have to think about the headache of fixing new tires anymore. So that's it. You want to say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Catch you later.